this is really overdue because I haven't posted on YouTube in like a while, and this just needs to be said. People who don't have piercings or tattoos or body modifications or whatever, I don't see why they think it's okay to, I guess, touch somebody or ask them really personal questions about it. Like, remember one instance, I just had my nose pierced. It was like a week old, really fresh, really sore, still in the healing process. And someone I went to school with, went like that and yanked on it, like, I guess to make sure it was like real or something. And she, I guess, didn't see the error of her ways. And once I told her, like, hey, back the fuck off of me, I don't want you grabbing on my nose, she got mad about it. And I'm like, you do know there's a thing called personal space, and she just, I guess, didn't seem to understand the error of her ways. And people like me who have stretched ears, my ear was stretched to a 00 until necrosis happened and it ripped. And when people were messing with my earlobe, trying to grab it and stuff, and it bothered me so much. And now you see, now it's all stitched up. Can't really tell, but it's all stitched up now. And if some more touch, I probably slapped them because it really freaking hurts right now. Even though I have annoying medicine, it still hurts. These are people who do have mods. Like my mom. People have like grabbed her arm and they've asked like, oh, what does tattoo mean, and what does that tattoo mean, and the natural reaction is to like jerk back and stuff, and they would grab her again and pull her like that, and she would get mad. I'm like, you need to back the fuck off because you're invading my personal space. And I've had people, yank on my lip rings, my nose ring. I've had people yank on my ears, and it's I'm not a zoo animal. I'm not a freaking Bengal tiger out on display for everybody to see. If you don't like body mods, then there's no point in you coming to ask me, oh, why'd you do this, and why'd you do that, and blah, blah, blah. And I've had, people yank on my necklace from my pinnacle, like, oh, what does that mean, and like, oh, are you selling this? And I'm like, no. Or I've had people ask about my dog tags and stuff, and it bothers me so much because, people, they don't seem to get it. There's like a personal boundary you cannot cross. Like, I won't sit there and go to somebody, I'm like, oh, why do you have your septum pierced? Or, I wouldn't yank on their septum ring. And there have been people who have asked me, oh, can I touch your piercing? And, that's what really bothers me. Like, no, you cannot touch my open wound of piercing. Because I've had this pierced for a little over 2 months and it's still in the healing process. And, same thing with my ears. Right now my ears are stretched to an 8G. And I have people, oh, take them out, let me see the hole. And I'm like, just, no, you can't. There is a personal boundary space that you cannot cross. And, it'd be the same way for somebody who doesn't have them, like, I don't, like, oh, why is it pretty short? Let me look and see what size you are, or something like that, People do that, and it's just, like, it's weird. And, people should respect other people's personal space. Like, a friend of mine on Facebook, her name is Kat, she's got a nose chain, which is really sexy. She's had people yank on her nose chain. That's like, why would you yank on somebody else's nose chain? That's like, that could actually rip out their ear. Does it get reconstructive surgery like how I do? And I'm not really ranting. I'm just saying, people don't do it. Because it pisses me off personally. It really makes me mad because you could just ask. You could ask like, oh, what does that mean? I could sit here and show you and tell you, or you're like, oh, does that hurt? Does that hurt? Because people ask me like, oh, does that hurt, or why'd you do that, or blah blah blah, and I'm like, just ask and I'll answer. You don't have to sit there and yank on my lip to make sure it's real. So yeah, and then I'll probably post some more videos in the next couple of days. I've been lazy with YouTube and I'm sorry, but hope everyone's having a good Friday. As you can see, mine's gone okay, besides having to get my ear stitched up and freaking out over it. And the anesthetic they gave me is making me really sleepy, so after I posted this, I'm going to go to bed. Fun stuff.